Hey all, this is Eddie, aka Solar Jazzman. Yeah, sorry about that on the cutout. I'm actually recording from my iPhone right now, and yeah, eventually we'll upgrade to the other camera that I have. But just wanted to get this quick video out. This is part 3 of my Nintendo video game collection. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on where I left off. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. I was telling you about this guy in the last video, but awesome game. A lot of good childhood memories with this guy. I still think the physical arcade version is much better, but having this as a port on the console for the Nintendo, it was awesome. Great memories, good times. Next, I think we have my favorite Ninja Turtles game. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project. This was great. Great animations, great music, great action. Again, by Konami. So you know it was some great music on there. So great times. Same stuff as the previous, but it's updated graphics, animations. It was just cool, all around fun. Just arcade, side scroller beat 'em ups. It was good stuff, man. Next we have Little Nemo Dream Master. Not a lot of people know about this, man, but watch the movie to this. This is an awesome animation. Little Nemo, the Dream Master, man. You've got to check this out. They just basically made the game in regards to the movie of the animation. But if you haven't heard of this, check it out. It is awesome animation art, man. Good stuff. Good story too. Next, we have Airwolf, based on the based on the hit TV series. Cool game. Nintendo greatness, man. Airwolf. Tetris. Pretty much everybody had this game coming out next to Super Mario Brothers, but Tetris, man, this started all with all the puzzles, man. You know, everyone's heard of Tetris, but great game. Loved it. Love it still. It's classic. And I remember Bad Dudes, man. Bad Dudes was awesome in the arcades. It was hard as nails. Just two white guys fighting a bunch of ninjas, and it looks like in New York. And it was awesome. Side scroller beat 'em up. It was cool. Loved it. Next, we have Star Tropics. Kind of reminds you of what's it? Legend of Zelda, the original one, top down. But great game, Star Tropics. Check it out. Next, we have Double Dribble. This is when sports games was really just getting out for the first time, man. Double Dribble was one of them. Sports game that was basketball. It's cool. It's cool as hell to be like Charles Barkley or Michael Jordan and stuff playing on this. It was good. The Simpsons, Bart vs. Space Mutants. Got this. It was hard. I remember playing this when I was much younger, and it was really hard to finish this one. But yeah, side scroller beat 'em up with some puzzles. It's The Simpsons. This is when Simpsons was king, where every kid and every parent, every adult was watching this daggone show at the time. But good stuff, man. POW, Prisoners of War. This was like one of my first shooters on rails, man. It's a good game. I grew up on this one. POW, Prisoners of War. If you like shooters on rails that has some that's challenging as hell, try this out. It's good. Let's see. This one is Kung Fu on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Good game. Classic. Kung Fu side scroller. You know, kick, kick, low punch. Very simple gameplay. Tough as nails. But it was awesome. Good one. This is when Top Gun, the second mission. Top Gun, this is when Top Gun was at its prime, when it just took over the box office. Everyone wanted to be in Top Gun or fly a jet or love the music. It was great. It was great. And this game was hard as hell to just land the freaking plane. Let alone just try to shoot anybody out of the sky. It was just so hard to land this thing because you had to be precise. Like perfect every time. It was a good game. Hard though. And pretty much everyone had this when they first got their system. Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt combined. So you pretty much know what this is about. 2D side scroller. And we have The Simpsons, Bart vs. the World. I have this with the manual. Pretty much the same thing as the other Bart game. 2D side scroller. Awesome game. Ah, man, Blaster Master. I remember playing this back in the day. My friend had this. One of my best friends, Nate, had this back in the day. And man, when he showed this to me for the first time, I was hooked. I was all over this. Great music, hard, great. I mean, story was simple, but the gameplay, man, this is a straight up adventure. This had a tank that you shoot stuff with, side scroller. You had a little dude that you got out and just dungeon crawling. It's just hard. Hard. But it was great. Definitely made you work for everything. Super C, aka Super Contra. This was good. This is basically Contra. Next step up, and good game. Final Fantasy 1. I actually looked past this one. Didn't even really know about it until much later, because I was like head over heels over like Final Fantasy 3. That came on the Super Nintendo, and Zelda, and all the other RPGs, Chrono Trigger and everything. I didn't really go to the original Final Fantasy back then, because I guess I was too young to understand RPGs until but I was just, into like Zelda and stuff like that. This one, building your characters up, stats and stuff like that. I think I was too young to understand this just yet, but once I did, it was awesome. Great. It's hard. Qbert, I remember this. Puzzle, platformer, good game. Bubble Bobble, yeah, this was a good one too, man. Same thing, side scroller, but I mean, you just try to get to what was it? I think I remember I haven't played this in so long. You just go level by level by level, just trying to either kill this dude, kill little things coming after you or whatever. I know I'm gonna get slammed on this, but I can't really remember everything on Bubble Bobble, but it was a good game. I do remember that. Ghosts and Goblins. I heard this was hard as hell. Never really played it, but I know this is like one of the top hardest games out there on any console. So yeah, Ghosts and Goblins. We have Dr. Mario. It's basically the rebirth of Tetris, but great game. Double Dragon, loved it. Was crazy about this in the arcades, man. And then when it came to the NES, it was awesome, but it was also hard as hell. This is a beat 'em up, 2D side scroller. Great game. And then Double Dragon 2, it just made it even better, man. Great game. Then Double Dragon 3, even harder. It was good though. Then we have Kid Icarus. This was a good one. And of course, the remake, well, not remake, the new Kid Icarus that came out on the 3DS, but this is where it started it all. Kid Icarus. Then one of my favorite series, Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden, if you want to call it, but hell, I'll just call it Ninja Gaiden because that's how I grew up saying it. Ninja Gaiden, hard as heck, great music. This was in the 80s, man, in the 90s, where every kid wanted to be a ninja. This was an awesome game, man. Then Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. I'm not going to lie, when I was a kid, I used to call it The Dark Sword of Chaos, but it's called Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. Awesome game, awesome sequel, great music. I highly recommend checking this out. It's a classic. Mega Man 2, Mega Man series, man, you can't go wrong with that. Great music, action, hard as heck, unless you know exactly how to kill each one of these freaking robots. It was a great game. Then we have Mega Man 3, just the add-on, just the keeping the series going. It was great. Same stuff. Haven't played this, though. This is the official Advanced Dungeons & Dragons video game, Heroes of the Lance. Haven't really checked this out, but I heard good stuff. But it's an old game, so don't expect great graphics. Metroid, can't go wrong with that. Metroid, great game. Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, great game, great music. Konami, keep that name in your mind. Konami made great music and great games back on the Nintendo platform. Then we have Skate or Die. This was an awesome game. It just taught me a lot about physics, skateboards, and ramps. I'm telling you, this was a great game growing up. Good stuff. Next, let's move on to the Super Nintendo stuff. We got Super Mario All-Stars. This is basically a pack-in of all the Super Mario games of Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers 2, Mario Brothers 3, and Mario Brothers Lost Levels. It was cool. Classic. Classic. I'm telling you. Final Fantasy 3. This is my very first hardcore RPG. I played this like from beginning to end, cutscene, story. I was soaked up in this thing when this came out, man. I was all over it. Amazing game. If you're not into RPGs or want to get into like the, statistical RPGs of stats of players and heavy story, building characters up, highly recommended. Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo. This is an amazing game. That's what's really started me. Besides Legend of Zelda, it was Final Fantasy 3, man. Or Chrono Trigger, it was Final Fantasy 3. I'm telling you, hands down, awesome game. GoldenEye broke records all over the freaking place. GoldenEye 007 was amazing on the Nintendo 64. Great multiplayer, great first-person shooter. Man, I miss this when Rareware was just kicking butt all over the place with their GoldenEye. Man, it was good times. And then they had their sequel, well, different game, but Rareware again trying to do it again. But this one's called Perfect Dark. Pretty much the same thing as what you know with GoldenEye, but it's with a chick being a spy, sci-fi. It's a good game. Mario Kart 64, classic Mario Kart. Then Super Mario 64. This is what started it all with Mario being in 3D. This game right here is what sold the Nintendo 64 when it first came out, man. Hey, it was great. It was great. Then we had the Turok Dinosaur Hunter. This was a surprise hit for me, man. I played this from beginning to end. Great guns, great action, man. Great game. Then we have Turok 2, Seeds of Evil. They just basically took it to the next level, man. Played this one, beat this one too. And I swear that the gun where you shoot, and I forget what it was called. It was like a little alien thing that goes into people's heads, and it explodes the brains everywhere. It was just nuts, man. It was a great gun. Great gun. I'll never forget that. It was great. Dr. Mario 64. Pretty much Dr. Mario on the 64 version. Same stuff, but better graphics, multiplayer, all that good stuff. Then you have Super Metroid. Great game. Great game. Actually going through this right now, actually. I know, it's sad. Classic game that I never beat yet, but, whatever. World Heroes 2. I found out about this game from my cousin in California when we played in the arcades. Never heard of it until I went to the arcades to play this, and I was really surprised. I got hooked on it, man. Loved this game. This is just a demo of Monster Hunter 3 Try. Sorry. Yeah, never really played it. Monster Hunter is huge in Japan, but never got into it. Wii Sports. Pretty much everybody's got this. Let's see, for Super Nintendo, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I think this is like, I can't remember if this is like the pre-Final Fantasy or whatever. I can't remember on top of my head. But yeah, Final Fantasy, pretty much. Illusion of Gaia, awesome game. This came out around the time of Chrono Trigger and Secret of Evermore. Great RPG, love it. Great music. One of my favorite composers. And I'll show you some of the music that I have as well later on in these videos. But Illusion of Gaia, amazing game, man. Amazing game. If you haven't played it, check it out. I don't want to spoil it. It's just great. If you love RPGs, great music, check this game out. It's amazing. Super Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. Hard as hell, but you know what? It's Star Wars, and it was actually good. It's just that it was hard. And we have Super Star Wars, the first one. Great game, hard as hell. Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania 4. Great music, made by Konami. This broke grounds all over the place for the Super Nintendo. It's a great game. I actually, I'm about to beat this on the Wii Virtual Console. But great game, man. Great game. Super Mario RPG: The Legend of the Seven Stars. Oh man, when this came out, I was a kid, never worked yet, so I couldn't just run out and buy this. But man, I wanted it. But at the time, it was like worth like $80 at Toys R Us, and I couldn't afford to get it. But I remember playing this, renting it from a local store, and just getting a dab on it, and it was great. It was when Square was at its SquareSoft at its excellence. It's just like a mix of Final Fantasy style with Super Mario Brother characters. Man, it's an amazing game. It's on the Wii Virtual Console, so you can check that out there. And this is my second copy of Final Fantasy 3. Like I said, guys, amazing game. So great, I had to own it twice. Great game. We have Final Fantasy 2. Pretty much the same deal, but the game that came out before Final Fantasy 3. We have Star Fox for Super Nintendo. Amazing game. This is when 3D was starting to really be shown on Super Nintendo. Had to have a special Super FX chip used to be able to play this game. Awesome. We have Tetris and Dr. Mario game pack. Pretty much both of those games all in one. Next we have Hook. Man, I was a huge fan of this movie with Robin Williams. Hook is amazing. The movie is amazing. This game is amazing. The music. Just playing as Peter Pan. Growing up, early 90s, it was just about fantasy, having a good time, fighting pirates, flying. It was just great. Amazing game. Loved it. Then we have Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World. It's basically both together. It's really good. Really good. Whew. We're almost getting there. We're almost there, guys. Oh, yeah. Second copy of 007. See, I wasn't lying, man. Awesome game. Awesome game. Let's see. This was hard as hell to get this freaking... All three of these bad boys together was hard to get. Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3. Hard to find. And then expensive at that because they were just so good. Everybody wanted them. Not many were made. And yeah, Mega Man X series. Well, 1, 2, and 3. Great games. Great music. Hard. But great stuff, man. And next we have Secret of Mana. Or Mana. Whatever you want to call it. I call it Mana. And this was one of those RPGs that I grew up on that really... changed my life, and just really got me into RPGs, man. I love this game. This was on my top of the list next to Zelda, A Link to the Past Zelda, and great game, great memories with this. Playing multiplayer with my best friend Nate in Washington State. Grew up on this, man. So many great memories with this one. Good. Killer Instinct. Freaking 100, 200 combos. This one blew everybody's mind when you can do like 100 hit combos and crap. It was great. Blood, killing, and freaking combos out the zoo, man. It was great. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Next, we have Aladdin. Loved the cartoon when I grew up, man. I saw the movie. I was crazy about Aladdin, man, and the music and the atmosphere, the environment. And then when Genesis and Super Nintendo came out with the game, it was great. I was just reliving the movie, man. It was great. Loved it. Now, take note that the Genesis and the Super Nintendo versions were totally different. So, keep that in mind. Chrono Trigger. This was the other one, besides Secret of Mana. Chrono Trigger. My favorite artist, Akira Toriyama. He's well known for Dragon Ball Z series and Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball and what is it? The Sand. I can't remember that other cartoon he did. But Chrono Trigger, awesome, amazing, great memories with this. I played this so much. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, another classic of mine. Grew up on this one. Great times. I actually got a little connected with my father with this one because he helped me out with the puzzles. He would, write down, while we were trying to get through the dungeon, he would write down what's happening and how to get out of it and everything. And then I'm sitting here just controlling everything to get through it. And it was good stuff. Good times. Next we have F-Zero. Awesome. Hard. Great game though. Lion King. When it first, the cartoon That when the movie came out, it was great. It was just nice to see and experience the moments from the movie on the game, hearing the music, and seeing the animations and stuff like that. It was good stuff, good times. Gradius 3 or Gradius 3, great game. 2D side scroller. Flying a ship, basically dodge all the missiles being shot at you, and just try to survive and get to the end, kill the bosses on each level. Good stuff. Hard game. Turtles in Time. This is it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. This is my favorite Ninja Turtles game. Awesome arcade, awesome music, great for multiplayer, just having a good time. Great music, great action, just time travel, Ninja Turtles, kicking butt, Foot Clan, taking them out. Awesome. Then we have Contra 3, The Alien Wars. I could never finish this one because it was hard. But I know this was great. And yes, Konami. Great music, great action. It was awesome. Next one we have Donkey Kong Country. Awesome game. This broke grounds on trying to make things 3D. Again, made by Rareware when they were at their prime. Just everybody played Donkey Kong Country. It just blew everybody's mind. Super Street Fighter 2. Awesome fighter. I remember growing up on Street Fighter 2. Oh, here it is. Street Fighter 2. Remember growing up on Super Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2. I remember when this bad boy was like $75 when it first came out, and I couldn't afford it. I had to play it at a friend's house at first, and it was great. Just playing, me and a friend or friends in a room, going head to head all night, all day, just trying to master how to do the Dragon Punch and the fireballs, and just practicing it. It was crazy. It just took America by storm, man. It was awesome. Alright, so I think that settles it for all the games that I have related to Nintendo. I'm pretty sure I have some more lingering around, but in the next video I'm going to show some of my soundtracks. Alright, peace.